Good morning, everyone. Michael Cruz here, and I wanted to share a quick video on some of the key metrics that I look at almost every single day to keep my agency running smoothly and spot trends for improvement. For me, number one still is the phone. The phone is king. It's how we write business. It's how we build trust. It's how we explain coverages. It's how we guide clients through claim scenarios. So every day, I'm looking at firstly and foremost call activity. I check out how many inbound calls, how many outgoing calls. I look at most importantly the total spend time on the phone. I want at least 2 hours for my licensed team to be on the phone every single day, at least 15 outbound calls for my sales staff. If the phones are quiet, most likely the sales are going to be slow as well. So for me and my agency, the phone is still the number one way to create opportunities, help clients, and really move the needle. Um, the second thing that I'm looking at on a daily basis is task activity and workload. This one is a big for me, especially after the pandemic. I'm looking at how many tasks were completed overall. I'm looking at how many were done by person, how many were completed by department, so I can compare between people in that department. And daily, I've also been keeping track of workload management. I look at how many tasks are overdue, how many are in progress, how many haven't even been started. As we know, after the pandemic, during the hard market, the workload has really increased. And if we're not staying on top of our tasks daily, they're going to pile up and things are going to fall through the cracks. And then now it's going to become impossible to catch up. The number three thing that I look at is sales activity, and I use Agency Zoom for that. I'm looking at how many leads that we generate that day, the day before, how many turn into actual sales, how many of those we smart cycle, meaning how many we're going to follow up at a future date, and then how many we label dead, meaning that we're not going to follow up at all. I'm also looking at premium. But really, the sales number, I really dive deeper more during my monthly sales review, where I'm looking at lead to quote, quote to bind, actually more weekly. I look at those numbers more weekly and then really dive deeper in a monthly level. And last but not least, I look at email activity. This is a new one that I have that I'm looking at because after the phone, the email is the next big thing. And we have the share inbox tool that gives us better reporting. I'm looking at how many emails are coming in, how many emails are going out, how fast we're responding, both at the agency level and at the individual level, and see where we might need to step in and support. And the best part of all of this is that it really just takes me 5 minutes a day. That's it. And if I miss a day, it's not a big. The main reason I'm saying is because the goal is the consistency, not perfection. So if you build the habit of looking at your numbers regularly, you're going to be able to start spotting trends early and fixing those problems before they grow into bigger problems. Example, basically, as you all might know, I have mainly 4 departments. I have my licensed sales, licensed service, client-facing non-licensed, back office non-licensed, and the non-licensed team that I have for client-facing and back office, they're all in Colombia. And at one point, I noticed that my client-facing team was consistently completing twice as many tasks as my back office team. And not because, one of the teams wasn't working hard enough or another one was working too hard, but because as a company, we didn't have the right balance of how we distributed tasks. Once I saw those numbers consistently, I met with my team. I took a fresh look at all the type of tasks that both teams do. And I realized that a lot of them could be shifted to the back office team. We made that change. And now when I'm looking at those numbers on a daily basis, the task completed is a lot more balanced between the two teams. Why does that matter? Because this is how you burn out good people. This is how you end up utilizing others. And sometimes it's not a people problem, but more of a process problem. But you won't catch it unless you're looking at your numbers on a consistent basis. Thank you very much.